What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the B-Roll Sports Podcast. On today's episode, I'll be giving a review of the college football playoffs and the national championship, and then we'll also be giving some stats to go along with it. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so I already told you what I'm going to be doing for this episode. I think it'll be a pretty short one, but that's what I think. So we're just going to start by saying this year's playoffs were very fun to watch, I thought. Lots of close games, lots of exciting games, low scoring or high scoring. One thing about this year's playoffs is mostly the same teams are in it, sadly, because of NIL. Just a college football right now, people do it for money. Teams that have a lot of money are going to win. So there's not really much to say about that. Otherwise they should put a salary cap on it. But that's what college football is right now. So you can't really complain about it. Most of the big dogs though didn't make it past the first round, like Alabama, Georgia. So that was good to see. And some of them didn't even make it to the playoffs. Not that I am hating those schools. They're always in it, and I want to see someone different to go in. So, no SEC teams, like I said, make it to the national championship. So, past 3 years, that has been the case. So, I've been very happy like that. So, that's a good thing for right now. And Miami went on a big run as a 10 seed. Miami, they don't win that often. It was a quarter century since they won the national championship. So, but I feel like they're always pretty good. So, but at least they made a good run as a 10 seed. And then Indiana had one of the most improbable runs in college history. My dad said something, and you guys would probably, older people that are watching this, you would probably understand this. But it was the equivalent, I think, the 1998 team, he said, of winning the national championship. Like a team out of nowhere that just started being really, really good. That was the year we lost in the Big 12 championship. But I agree with that. And so they don't have very many 5-stars. Fernando Mendoza, their quarterback, wasn't a top-ranked prospect or anything. He just showed up this year and played really well. And so I think he was such an important part of their team this year, and I'll talk about him later. They were also very dominant in the playoffs. Beat Alabama by 30, who do they play? Someone that's also good. Oregon beat them by 30. So it was dominant. They were clearly the favorite for every single game. And they showed up that way, too. And at first, when they played Alabama, they started off with a 3-and-out, and I was I don't know if they had, I thought the experience to play really well in the college football playoffs. I think one thing Mendoza was really good at is thriving under pressure. And their whole team does. So they played really well. And that is also a really good thing for small schools like Kansas State, or smaller schools that are not the big dogs in the college football playoffs, like Kansas State and especially since Colin Klein is coming back. What I'm a little worried about is that they're going to spend all their NIL money on football. We're going to have no money left for basketball next year, and we're going to be really bad. But I'd rather probably have a good football team than a basketball team. I don't know. It's all right. Even if we have one bad year, it'll be okay. Like I said, Fernando Mendoza's amazing QB. They were just rocking him all game, and he just kept performing under the pressure. And then a quick recap of the game. I'm just kind of jumping around this episode, so you heard me talk about quite a few things at once. Really good game. Miami's defense kept them close. That was the only reason. They had a bunch of great tackles, sacks, and stopping the Indiana offense, which no one had been able to do the whole season. So that was impressive by the defensive side. I was really impressed with their defense. And then obviously I know I'm kind of glazing Fernando Mendoza this episode, but he deserves it. He had a great game, even though the stats don't show it. I'll talk about that later. This shows that he had a bad game, but he really didn't. He had a bunch of big plays and had them when they needed it really bad. A big play was Miami's kicker missing a field goal. I think it was in the it was in the first half. I know that, but doinked off the side of the field goal, and it was unlucky, just a bad bounce off the the field goal post. So I was pretty surprised to see that. I think it was actually at the end of the half, because I remember they were up 10-0 and they had to score to get it to a one-score game. So that was a big play that the kicker missed. Miami has a lot of 5 stars. They're pretty well known. They get a lot of people to come to their school. But Indiana was just the better team. They don't have a lot of good great prospects. They just had a really good team. And also Indiana's run game, which usually works, was not working, but they found a way to win. Their running back, I can't remember his first name. His last name's Hemby. And then also, I don't remember the other guy's last name. I could see here, Black. They are both really good running backs. And like I said, Miami defense is really good at stopping them. An important play was Fernando Mendoza on 4th down. First of all, gutsy move for the coach calling it. I respect that. I don't know if I would have had the guts to call it. I mean, they were close to their end zone, and so they could have kicked the field goal to be up by 6, and they were up by 3. And so they went for it, which I was surprised if they would even do that. And then also a direct quarterback run. Runs it in for a touchdown. Breaks multiple tackles. Great play by Fernando Mendoza. Great coaching call. I know a lot of people would say that would have been dumb if they didn't get didn't get it. But he did. So, and then another important play. The quarterback Charlie Becker. He was their best wide receiver. He's been all season. He's really showed up. He made an amazing catch. It was like back shoulder throw. You literally can't stop that. You got to respect the deep ball, but then they throw the back shoulder ball, and that's wide open. So that was just an amazing catch. It was not the best throw by Mendoza, even though he had another one of those good throws later in the game. But it was like 3rd and long or 4th down or something, and he made an amazing catch, secured it, went out of bounds, and just... It was amazing. I was so impressed with him. And then some quick stats just to wrap up this episode. Like I said, really quick episode. First for Miami, quarterback Carson Beck went 19 for 32, 232 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The interception was at the end of the game. First of all, they had unsportsmanlike conduct, and I was like, what are they doing? And then my dad was like, I know I'm referencing my dad a lot, but if you just won the national championship for your team for the first time ever, you can have an unsportsmanlike conduct. And I'm like, okay. But Carson Beck had a pretty good game. I mean, one thing that is not good about him is his body language. He does a lot of this or this, and sometimes you can definitely tell that. So, and then the running back, Mark Fletcher Jr., their main running back, had 17 carries for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a big run, like 50-something yard run to put him back into 1 score. That was probably easily his best play of the game, and I think it said that it was his longest run ever. So, but he didn't have a great game, even though it said he had 112 yards. It was just that one big play. But they stopped him really good, the Indiana defense. The wide receiver, Malachi Toney, had 10 receptions for 122 yards and 1 touchdown. Really good wide receiver for them. And then as a team, they were 3 for 11 on 3rd down. So that's part of the reason that they lost. Not great on 3rd downs. But that's just unlucky sometimes, and sometimes it's about the pressure. But at the end of the day, they didn't do it. And then their team had 342 total yards, and they had 110 rushing yards for 21 attempts. And then for Indiana's side, Fernando Mendoza was 16 for 27 with 186 yards. Like I said, not a great game. 186 yards, one rushing touchdown. And then Roman Hemby, the best running back, had 19 carries for 60 yards. Couldn't really get through the Miami defense this game. But their other running back, Keelan Black, had 17 carries for 79 yards. He had a couple big runs. So he did good for them. And then their wide receivers, Omar Cooper Jr. had 5 receptions for 71 yards. Had a couple big ones. And then the best wide receiver, Charlie Becker, had 4 receptions for 65 yards. So the wide receivers both did a pretty good job, both of them. So, and then their special teams' biggest play, probably of the game, blocked punt for for a touchdown. So it was right at their own end zone, and they blocked it, got it, and their special teams was really good there. In K-State, I know I've been referencing K-State a lot, but they have the best special teams. Or they have the most turnovers by special teams since a certain amount of years, and it's not even close. So K-State probably would have done that. And then the team was 6 for 16 on third down. Not great, but they still found a way to win. And then 317 total yards and 131 rushing yards. So thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for more episodes. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!